Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about a very important question that I recently got from a patient. She said, Dr. Berry, why are there fat doctors? And I said, what do you mean? Why? What do you mean by that question? She said, well, you guys are supposed to be really smart and know all the answers. And I was like, well, right, that's how most of us put ourselves out there. And she said, and also you guys obviously know how to work hard because you were able to get into medical school and finish medical school. So obviously you guys know how to put your nose down and dig for something that you want. And I was like, wow, that's a seriously logical argument. I can't argue with that at all. I'm like, no, you're exactly right. That's a great question. Let me think about that, and I'm going to make a video about it. And she's like, please do, because that just seems to me like that shouldn't be. There shouldn't be fat doctors. And so let's talk about that. Why are there fat doctors? Why are there people in this world who've been to medical school and learned everything there is to know about nutrition and health in the human body, but at the same time, they're also overweight? And secondly, we're talking about people who worked like dogs to get into medical school, because you don't just snap your fingers and fill out an application and get in. You have to work. You have to take basically the hardest classes in college, at university, and you have to do well on them, which requires hours and hours of untold work. And that's just warm up. That's just practice for medical school. I remember the hardest semester I had in college was easier than the easiest semester I had in medical school. That's a fact. And so then when these people get to medical school, they have to step it up several notches from how hard they worked in college, and they have to work harder basically than the normal guy. So it's established fact that doctors are supposed to know everything about the human body and how to feed it and how to care for it and how to keep it healthy. And it's established fact that doctors know how to work really, really hard. They're not lazy people, or you couldn't be a doctor to start with. So why are there fat doctors? Well, looking at this argument, breaking it up into the two parts, either doctors are lazy and just don't want to be healthy and they don't want to work for it, or B, they really don't know that much about human health and nutrition and prevention and weight loss and that sort of thing. Now, obviously, doctors know a lot about medicine and practicing medicine. If you break your bone, or you're stabbed in the face, or you get run over by the bus, or you fall off the roof, doctors are going to help you get better. We know how to do that stuff, right? That's what we're trained to do. But a lot of people don't realize doctors get at most a few hours of training about nutrition. And all of the training that I got in medical school was completely upside down and backwards. It was almost like through the looking glass nutrition because everything they taught me to tell my patients would make my patients worse. No joke. I'm not kidding at all. That's the absolute truth. I recently finished my book, Lies My Doctor Told Me, and in one of the chapters is about nutrition. Several of them are, but one of them in particular, and I talk about what I learned in medical school about nutrition, how much I was taught. And when I went to look and gathered up all the notes, I could easily hold them in one hand. Yeah, 4 years of medical school, and I could hold all my nutrition training and notes in one hand. That's ridiculous, okay? But the problem is not that doctors are lazy. The problem is not that we don't want to know. Well, most doctors do. Some are happy to be comfortable in their trench, and they don't want to look up and try to learn anything new. But doctors like me do. I try every day to learn something new that I can use to help my patients. So basically, your doctor, if you have a fat doctor, it's not because he's not a hard worker or she. It's because they don't know about human nutrition and prevention and weight loss, because they're trying to do the very things that they're telling you to do. I know this because I used to be that fat doctor who would walk in the exam room and then counsel a patient on how to lose weight and be healthier. Think about that. And that's the exact face I would make while I was doing it. I'd be like, what the heck am I doing here? Obviously, I don't even know how to do this, but yet I'm going to get paid to teach this poor patient how to do what I'm doing? Yeah, so I had to basically go back to medical school again when it comes to nutrition. I had to do my own learning. I had to read a bunch of books. I had to watch a bunch of videos like this one. I had to do a lot of new learning. And that's why they call it practice. So that's why there are overweight doctors, is because they don't know how to lose weight. When I started trying to lose weight, I cut out all the fats out of my diet. I started eating lots of whole grains, and I started drinking lots of fruit juices, and I switched from whole milk to skim milk, and I did all these things, and all it did was nothing for me. I actually gained more weight. And so I'm like, well, I'll start jogging every day because they taught us, calories in, calories out. I need to create a calorie deficit, and that'll help me lose weight. Well, guess what? That didn't work either, okay? I put on some muscle in my calves and my butt and thighs from running, but I didn't lose any of my belly fat at all. Only when I went back to school, personally, on my own, and just learned how the heck are human beings supposed to be fit? What is our nutrition supposed to be? How are we supposed to lose weight? That's when I finally lost the weight, and now I can confidently walk into a room with a patient and say, hey, look, here's what you're doing wrong, here's what you need to change, and that'll fix it. And now it does. So if you have an overweight doctor, this is a great opportunity for you to either train your doctor or find a new one. This is Dr. Berry. Please take a second and hit the subscribe button, okay? It helps me spread the message to people who need it. I'll see you next time.